All right. So, hey, we're live. It worked.
I'm texting
That's
on.
all right.
Nobody's here. No one's there. You
Nobody
haven't
knows
tweeted the
yet.
link yet. Oh, come on. Thought I would stay on.
Well, I can see the chat,
Yeah, I can too.
so I'm great.
Video's frozen though, it appears.
It is? Nah, it ain't.
It's just behind. I
Yes.
was being still. All right.
Maybe your giant ass phone is blocking out the microwaves.
All right, let's tweet this link.
Oh, isn't it just YouTube/Superficial
I mean,
Gallery? I think. I think we should just be on. Oh, yeah. They'll see us when they get to the page, but you can do that exact link too. I think we should just be on.
like try to take the link to the actual like live stream. Wait, what? No, I just added this to my YouTube playlist.
Yeah, that's good.
Construct a tweet and then I'll retweet it because I am just a backpack. You're carrying me.
I spelled anniversary wrong, so you're gonna have to wait.
Say birthday. It's easier to spell.
You're right.
Okay, my sister-in-law who never calls me is calling me. That is just great.
That's Fabu.
I'm gonna text her something that she won't understand. Live YouTube show, and why are you doing it?
Oh wow, the thumbnail is actually us.
Sick.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Do it. Yes. Exciting live stream ever. Okay. Have to text my sister-in-law to stop calling me.
Boy, we should have been using this thing a long time ago, sister. This is way better than using Hangouts.
Where are we? What are we doing?
We're just being on the internet now. I'm just waiting for the chat in case somebody chats. It's Mitchell. Hello.
Then, yo.
You know who's going to win all the prizes? Mitchell.
It's just like his username has Mitchell in it. Catholic schoolboys.
Hey. Well, I mean, the fact is that he's the only one that's going to know that there's any clues.
That's true. Until such time as perhaps we are joined by others. If not, whatever.
You know what? So then why don't we do this? Since it's the anniversary and our super duper bestest fan Mitchell is here, Mitchell, just ask us shit and we'll answer it. Unless it's like hard math questions.
For a second, I was like, 3 first names. That's crazy. But they're just, all 3 of your names are like Dan, Steve.
Dan, Steve.
I had a name. teacher in elementary school whose name was Andy Jeffrey.
Oh, that's... Nobody's last name
James.
should be Jeffrey.
There you are. Sorry, Mr. Jeffrey, that I just outed you to the YouTube live world.
Yeah, everyone will be able to look you up in the phone book. Because there's only one of you.
So young to us because he was like 22 and I was in like 3rd grade, but now he's...
I was getting ready for the big party tomorrow.
Rain tonight.
No, I have a little... The speaker is in a tree and that's wind resistant, but you know those Christmas... Like you can get a fake little Christmas lamppost with a little flickering LED candle in it?
It's cool.
Well, I put
in there.
I put the Alexa in there anyway. So now it's all weatherproof. And instead of having to get out of the pool to go and change stuff, now I can just yell.
You're yelling at like your wife Alexa or something.
Yes.
I mean,
I should have named it something else. I didn't realize you could. I didn't even know you could do that until much too late.
Sorry for like every real girl whose name is Alexa.
Yeah, and the Downeaster Alexa was a good boat.
Would have occurred to me.
Good
boat.
Mitchell doesn't have any questions.
Cool. I don't have any answers either.
That works out well.
Frankly, I'm just waiting to run out of here to go see Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark.
What are you talking about? You can't stay up late and go to movies.
I can't. Especially on Friday.
Dirty stay out. We were supposed to watch Midsummer, and we didn't.
God, yeah. I didn't go to the theater to see that. Don't read too much into how I eventually saw it.
You were supposed to give me the link.
Like illegal? I totally forgot. I just watched it in my spare time. And then we started watching whatever it's called. The Lost Room. I was gonna say Lock and Key, but that's not what it's called.
Well, you still better get me the... Was it a good version or was it shitty?
I would say mid-tier illegal recording. Like you could see people's heads sometimes.
Gotcha. Well, you gotta hook me up with that because
I've seen worse ones.
Because if we were ever going to talk about it, well, that ship sailed. Because we don't...
They were right, though. Like, I really liked Hereditary, and I was just kind of like, all right, on this one.
Oh, really?
Or anything. I just didn't find it as impressive as Hereditary was at the time.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I watched Hereditary again with my neighbor who had never seen it. And not only did I love it all over again, I found another thing that I hadn't noticed the first 11 times I watched it. And her cutting off the bird's head now makes sense to me. Because remember when she was drawing in her book and the pages were like flipping themselves or whatever like that? Well, before that, when they were looking through the book before she came back or whatever it was, the last thing she had drawn in her book was a pigeon head with a crown on it. So she was just getting ready for what was coming. So there.
Yeah.
She's pretty smart.
Many 1,000-year-old demon, sort of.
Well, Prince of Hell, which, honestly, if he doesn't renege on the whole giveth good familiars and riches for the summoner, I would do it in 2 seconds. Wouldn't you?
Like, if it confirmed the existence of hell for me, would it also confirm, like, the existence of heaven? And would I rather, go there instead?
Well, now I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know, but there's nothing in the Bible about a guy sitting on a big mound of gold like Scrooge McDuck, like there was in the Paimon book.
Every time I hear Scrooge McDuck now, I think about guy, they talked about diving into money and how it would probably break all of your bones.
Yeah. I bet even if
First,
you dove into bills, it
me
would.
up. Yeah.
I would like to try.
Just the bills, I think, than the. No, if the bills were like loose, I think you could probably slide in there, but then it would just be kind of like jumping into a bunch of shredded paper, and probably if there were a hard surface underneath, you would still.
No, you'd die. You'd super die. The only thing
Wouldn't
you
be
should
dead.
do on money is lay back on it like that big dude in Breaking Bad did when he was in the vault.
Reclining on money. Just recline on your money.
Yep. That's what you do.
Or you could just get some liquid assets.
Ho 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 ho. Yeah.
Ew.
I invested all my money in mercury and I jumped in it and now I'm very sick.
Aqua purification or something like that, you know.
My neighbor wants to dig a pond in his yard.
Do you like mosquito larvae?
No, he said that he's gonna. That was the first thing I said, and he looked at me like he was like, "No, it's gonna move around, so there aren't mosquitoes in it." And I was like,
Not a pond.
Well, I mean, it's a swirly
Move.
pond, I guess. I'm not quite sure how that works, but
my paternal grandparents had a pond that he dug. It was actually quite lovely because, you know, you could row a boat across it and go fishing in it because it was full of bluegill, but there were definitely mosquitoes because it was a pond and it was Michigan.
Well, that's fancy.
Yeah, does he just want a body of water in his backyard?
Yes. And I think it's just because he wants less to mow.
I get that. And garden. Feel like it's cheaper.
Yeah, well, I already have one in mine.
Giant hole and filling it with water. Also, is this the one with like 2 small kids?
No.
Oh, okay.
These are the ones you didn't meet. So you're going to meet them tomorrow.
Seems like a great way to have your 2 small kids die.
Yeah, no. Those kids have... well, one of them doesn't have anything because he's like 1, so he can't do anything good. I mean, he's good, but the other one, EK, she's bigger and she can do fun stuff. Like, I took a picture of all the crap that we have for the pool, and because I had to take it all out of the pool so that I could do all these chores that I had to do, and so I took a picture. And I said, ask her if we have enough toys. And she noticed right away that there was a new one.
Ooh,
and the
smart.
very first thing out of her face was, "Hey, that's new. Can we play with that tomorrow?" I don't know if you can play with the basketball hoop because we play for keeps around here with our pool basketball.
Pool basketball.
So then...
Really, like, brainstorm what we were going to actually talk about during this thing, but, like...
Oh, I know exactly what we're going to talk about.
We're going to reminisce.
We're going to talk about... We're going to do... It's going to kind of, like, be how the regular podcast goes. And this was the beginning of the podcast, since we never talk to each other, and you don't even tell me when you get the movies that you say you're going to send me. You know, just hurtful, basically. But this was the yin yang part, so that we could just kind of shoot the shit. Then I'll complain about how you have like 4 pixels in your camera.
Yeah, it's just a laptop camera.
Well,
but like, the whole point is that my face is not supposed to be visible, and yet.
Well, that's hey. We're
the upper torso visible.
We're fancy. That's the way we are.
Like my guest room visible.
You can say fancy office. You don't have to say guest room.
It's a bed, though, so you know.
Well, yeah, that's true. I was wondering if there was well, no, but it's nicely all made up and everything like that.
I
pretty
know, I
fancy.
like totally set it up so it would be pleasing to film in front of, but yeah.
I have
Or
nice
gas.
curtains.
True.
Huh?
And a bat light.
Yes. I have a cool bat light, and I got. Remember, I made that big green screen like a big fucking idiot, and I glued like 74 pieces of green poster board together? I don't know what I searched for on Amazon the first time that made me think that green curtains were cost prohibitive, but I just looked the other day and they were like $12. So I'm like, what the fuck?
In multiple yards of green fabric for not very much money at all.
Well, I didn't put it up because this is a very relaxed show and I didn't want to show you up by like making it look like I was in Hawaii.
But my interior decorating.
That's true. Actually, what I really want to do is make Mel's really mad, and the next time that I
Kill her
record anything
background?
with her, I'm gonna say, "Hey, I want to get a screenshot of your bookcase. So just move for a second, and then I'll do it, and then I'll make that my background from then on, so it looks like."
Should get her in it and then just wear one of those green suits and put your head on her body too.
Oh, that would really upset her. You know,
Sorry, Mills.
the Cape lady still owes me. Holy crap! Now that I think about it, when was Mad Monster Party? February? March?
February.
She's had my money since February. I don't have any cape.
Her up at night.
Now I'm going to have to hound her. I don't like that at all. Oh, and I have a little Stephen King news, too.
Yes.
It's not a lot. Wait a minute. Hold on, because one of the guys that's not coming to the party, but
Stamping. Stuff.
He's really. How much do you play Dungeons and Dragons on a scale of never to often?
Which has almost been 30 years, so.
Well, all right. That's not many.
I mean, except my dad was really into it in college. He has like all sorts of hand painted, but yeah, no.
Well,
I live in an age of digital RPGs having already been created for me, so
listen.
use my brain or dice.
Yeah, that is true. And what's that game we're gonna play? What'd you say it was called?
Oh, Man of Medan or Man of Medan, I'm not really sure how to pronounce it, is coming out at the end of August. And also, the PlayStation Store has like an entire tab devoted to Death Stranding, Hideo Kojima game. So I am for fourth quarter of 2019 and also third quarter. So,
well, remember we have the we can do the Friday night horror stream show, which I actually practiced and it worked perfectly.
oh, good.
Because, and the reason we were using Dead by Daylight is because there's so many pauses, like that just natural time when you're in the lobby and that kind of crap, so that you can talk about stuff. So I got no complaints about that. I will someday. You will keep your promise to me, Hannah. Someday. You promised.
Remember that.
The Stephen King news, and the only Stephen King news that I saw this week, because I was super busy getting ready for all this crap, and I had a customer, and I had a job interview, and then the guy told me that he would let me know within a day, and then he didn't, so I'm assuming that's bad. But anyway, the one piece of Stephen King news other than me giving yet another company my email address so that I could try and win tickets to the premiere of it, was that the Boogeyman, which was in pre-production and was going to get made based on the Night
Okay.
Shift short story,
Oh, gotcha.
has been 86th because it was a Fox thing, and Disney bought Fox, and Disney was apparently flipping through all the movies and were like, nope, negative, no, nope, thank you.
Oh, I definitely saw something about that on the internet, but didn't understand the context. So Disney bought Fox.
Yes.
And
That's
Disney
why,
will own everything.
yes. They now own the X-Men, so they can try and figure out how to back the X-Men into the Marvel Universe, which would have seemed to me that in the very first Avengers, when, like, if the X-Men had been around, they would have, like, I don't know, taken the train down from Westchester to maybe help save Manhattan. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't very far away. They could have chipped in.
Appreciate the X-Men as far as Marvel franchises go. Other stuff.
I did watch Deadpool 2, too.
Oh, yes.
That was
In a
cute.
movie, if you're going to make him.
So then, since this is our birthday show and Castle Rock is not going to be back for a long time,
Odd with this show. Yeah.
since they're still filming it, which means they're still writing it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're probably writing it as we speak.
Write the ending, like, the show ends.
Yes. That day. They're like, oh, well, we wanted to keep it a secret, so here's your script. Ha ha. Why, this is written in pencil. There's a bunch of scribbles on it. Yeah,
Do
don't
you
worry
really-
about it.
This fuck you audience line at the end?
Oh, that's rough.
Mm-hmm.
That's harsh. But not unwarranted, because we are not.
No, it was not.
So, out of all the stuff we looked at all year, what was your favorite thing? And you can't, remember, we can't, because we're going to talk about Lost Room in the next actual show. So, but that counts as year 2. So we're going to be starting out on a good note. That's what we're going to do the contest about, too.
Probably forgetting something that we've talked about, but Us, maybe?
Us was, yeah, could have been Us.
Enjoyed talking about The Gunslinger. I didn't necessarily enjoy reading it the whole time, but I really had fun talking about it.
Well, I still think we should go. You've got to get to Drawing of the Three, because you know who's ahead of you now?
Lady on Twitter.
No, well, probably besides that. Emma.
Who?
Emma from Castle Rock Critical.
That they talk about his name's Crotch, like, way too much.
No, she was just like, what should I read? And I said, read Drawing of the Three, so she said that she would. So now she's been reading it and you haven't, so.
Is Roland. Sorry. In my brain for, like, one of every type of thing, and I'm currently reading a different book, so.
Sad state of affairs. I think
comic books, so you know.
Us was probably my favorite thing. I liked talking about Pyewacket.
It's a fun one too.
And I liked you talking about Saw 2, which, not for nothing,
made me watch that movie.
No, I did. It was for work.
Yeah, well, you know, I still had to watch the movie.
Apparently there is a reboot of Saw in the works.
Why?
I don't know.
It's like it hasn't even been 20 years. Like, why? Stop it.
There should be a rule for that.
But why, though? Ugh. Nobody needs to ever remake any horror movie ever again.
I gotta
Make
watch the
something new.
yeah, like I mean, Us wasn't as good as Get Out, but it was new.
Yeah, Get Out was also new. Like,
Oh,
everything
Get Out
can't
was
be
super.
the
Everything
best.
about it was great. Hereditary was new. I started to
A
write
lot
up
of
Go ahead, sorry.
came out last year. Stuff that was good. Stop remaking things. And like, it's the big movie houses that do this. Like, you guys have the money. Scripts from whoever you want to of new stuff. Quit recycling shit. Like, they remade Chucky, and I heard basically nothing about it after it came out, which means it must have sucked.
It had to have sucked. You're right, Mitchell. New things do involve thinking. And earlier today, I had a really good idea for a horror movie, and now I've forgotten it. But I thought of it while I was WhatsApping with somebody, so I'll have to go back through all my WhatsApps to remember it.
Came up with a new horror movie too, but there's already a horror movie about like a corporate environment where everybody else. See, McGinley was in it. I love him. He's some horror person, even though I think most people remember him from Scrubs.
Let me see. Trying to think if there was anything else that was super, super, super fun. I mean, the Halloween show that we did with Castle Rock was fun because we got to eat a lot of candy and get headaches.
I ate something really gross. What was it?
Shit.
It was like a Battenberg, maybe. It was really bad.
They had some weird things.
Now I have a big Straubs problem, and I go to World Market and I buy big Straubs.
Straubs! But you should say it loud. Like,
so good.
They say it loud. Giant Straubs!
Straubs. I don't know. The point is, they're big strawberry-shaped and flavored candies that are really good, and
like
now I like them a lot.
Strawberries. I didn't know you could get them
I
at
have
World
to
Market.
say, as far as analysis, Rock was the most fun thing because it involved like the most depth of work for me, like taking notes and like tracking things. Mm-hmm. Even though I got really badly burned in the end, I did enjoy the detective part of that whole thing a lot.
Yeah, and we're going to do the exact same thing when the new show comes out. That's why I was really hoping that Nosferatu would be like that, except it wasn't at all.
Watched another thing that requires that level of attention or has that much there's just nothing with that big of a universe either.
No.
I think the Lost Room could be sort of like that if you wanted to take a particular approach to enjoying it. Like it's based on years of someone's writing or anything like that. So yeah, Castle Rock was unique in that experience, and that was a lot of fun.
I think I have to since we're like halfway through the show, I should mention the fact that anybody who's watching this right now, which means Mitchell, we're giving stuff away, but in order to win it, you have to participate because it's like it's a scavenger hunt thingy. And
yes, because our next thing is a show about a scavenger hunt with much higher stakes than ours. Yep. But
and I'm going to figure out what the prize is right now. Because
I think that the Lost Room is like our first departure from horror, even though necessarily. Ooh, Fright Crate.
Yep. Whatever it is coming out of here. I also have a bunch of other Loot Crate things, but I want someone to get something spooky.
Trying to figure out what happened in Castle Rock and having like completely different balls to the wall theories was. I thought that like being kept in a cage in the backyard of that barber's house and how they never like explained what was being kept in the cage back there, even though whatever it was used a spoon.
No good.
What the hell?
No good at all. It's not how you do things, folks. It is not how you do things.
Chekhov's gun, I'm gonna be like, the barber's cage with a spoon in it rule. I forget what that creepy woodsy barber is now. And I learned so much about Maine.
Yep.
Yeah, Maine. Just watching that show, which was fascinating for me. Technology lesson about all of the Maine, including that there are just people who live in the woods and cut hair.
Yeah, and sell firewood. But I found out when I was driving to that pond in Raleigh that people in North Carolina do that too. Sell firewood and cut hair in the same trailer.
I guess like you're paying for the, well, it's not like you can just cut down a tree for free, I guess. I just think of like wood and water as being one of those things I could get myself.
You want think.
All right. With rocks.
Mitchell said that listening to us try to figure out what was going to happen was the best.
Why I was talking about the barber in the woods.
Yeah, and I think that, and I appreciate that very much, Mitchell. And I also think that it was because the stuff we came up with was better than what they came up with. So now, here's
interns that they hired to write Castle Rock episodes.
Middle through end. All right. We've got 3. No. Yeah, 3 prizes. 3. And I guess the way we'll do it is whoever is the first one to perform everything gets their pick, and then the second one gets their pick, etc., etc. You know what I mean?
So because there will be 3 winners of our scavenger hunt in order of...
In order of finish.
All of the things. Yeah.
So you can get, and I suppose I should, well, I'll show it, but I'm not going to open it. You can get these Twilight Zone recipe cards, which I really want to open because I think they probably look really dope inside, but I'm not going to open them because it's a prize.
It'd be horrible if it was a bunch of those Jell-O recipes from the decade that the original Twilight Zone series came out.
Oh, that would suck. No, it says 50 blank recipe cards and set of dividers.
Oh, that's cute.
So that's number 1. That could be yours. The second one is, it says it's a phone stand, but it's just a bite phone stand, and I think it's a big set of teeth that you can put your phone in. And again, really want to open it, but I can't because it's a prize.
That's wicked sharp looking.
Maybe there's a little map inside that tells you what all the stuff is. The regular loot crates do that. Oh yeah, it says. See, this is the little thing that comes with it. The little spooky dude. He kind of looks like the Wraith from Dead by Daylight, actually.
Dental work.
Respectfully submitted for your perusal, a recipe box based on the classic Twilight Zone episode To Serve Man, featuring 50 blank recipe cards and 6 dividers with memorable show icons.
Got it.
The Just a Bite phone stand is Don't Look So Long in the Tooth. Ha ha. Keep your favorite cooking video close at hand during your next meal prep with this helpful stand. So it's just going to hold your phone up while you're doing stuff.
Culinary themed fright loot crate. Loot fright bite crate.
Which makes the third thing that you could get, I think it's the best thing out of the bunch, especially, and it makes me like the people from Loot Crate that much more, since this is culinary themed. This is how I eat from the Fly Jeff Goldblum barfing on things is pretty great.
Nasty.
So that's the other prize that you could win. So I guess we'll have to take pictures of these and put them on the gallery site so that people know.
Probably also Twitter.
Yeah. The sun don't rise and set on Twitter, sister.
That's for me, because fuck social media.
Yeah, that's true. You're
She
so
streams on YouTube.
promoting. I want people to know who I am, but not
I've never said that.
meet me.
Don't want people
How are you
going to
be on a panel without it?
Well, you know, people can, like, have a vague idea of who I am. I don't want people to, like, from high school. I don't need anybody platforms than Facebook, but I don't know what they are.
Well, so Mitchell, let's talk. This is how you can win. There are going to be, over the next 6 weeks, 6 weeks, there are going to be clues left in the episodes. And there's also going to be clues, like, I guess photographic clues, we would call them.
I thought we were giving the clues and then they had to take a photo of that thing.
Yeah, but some of the things
via
is
email.
that they just have to, there's 2 things each episode where they have to email us that they've listened so they knew what the thing was. Then they have to get the picture.
Really, technically, just one.
No, because there's 2 clues in each episode that they have to do.
Okay. So are they taking pictures of both of the things?
No, they just have to email us that they... First they email us both the clues, then they send one of the pictures. They can only have to do one of them, you know what I mean? Because, I mean, if it might be too difficult, because what if they don't have one of the things?
Oh, I mean, you can take a little leeway on it. I think all of them are pretty easy to find, except for, like, one.
Yeah, but you don't know how...
Which I would allow for, like, a loose interpretation of, because we're not in Europe.
Well, see, and that's why we're going to do 2. But I guess then if somebody does do both of them, then they'd get extra credit.
Some
Anyway,
hard and fast rules for this, but the point is that
well,
it's
they
going
will
to
be
a
on the
sort
site
of...
because it's going to get the official rules will be put out in the next episode. We just want people to know so that they listen to the next episode super closely, because without it, they're not going to know shit about shit, and they're just going to think this is a weird commercial, and they're going to blow right by it, and they're not going to win anything.
To podcasts, they wouldn't find any of these clues because I skip commercials.
Mm-hmm.
Podcasts, because sometimes they're funny.
Well, they also don't work because I still have not gotten Stamps.com, even though I've heard literally 1,000 different interpretations of Stamps.com's commercials. Like,
Still haven't bought a Quip toothbrush, but that's because they're ugly.
You know what else? They're bullshit. You want to know why? Don't why. If you want to be our sponsor, Quip, though, I will fucking sell it like nobody's business. They're acting like that whole vibrating thing is such a big deal. Like, we've had a good old Oral-B that vibrates every 30 seconds so you know when to switch up, and it's like 10 years old. They didn't invent that shit.
Yeah, I know.
Sons of bitches.
Ass design, though.
Okay, Apple.
Losing out on broadcasting opportunities here, you know. I have heard, I did buy a pair of those Bombas socks for Jason, so.
I got a bunch of them, and they're awesome. Those are legit. And some of them were just wore out, because when I lived in the city, I walked like 10,000 miles a day, and I tweeted that I was like, well, that kind of sucks, because these were expensive and whatever like that. And then the Bombas people saw my tweet and were like, oh yeah, DM me, because we'll just send you new ones. I was like, well, all right.
Media for that reason, anyway.
So, yeah, that's enough free commercials for places, I suppose.
I can't think of any other, like, stereotypical podcast.
Well, there was Blue Apron for a long time. You know, because when you're when you apparently are so rich and have so much time that you can spend triple what you would in a restaurant and still make it yourself.
There's like a huge knowledge gap in people my age, though, about how to cook. So I see why that was successful. Like, for some reason, so many people my age have no idea how to cook.
But where do they get the money?
Idea, because I don't know if people don't understand that if you grocery shop and have like concept that larger quantities of the thing, buying a larger quantity and using it multiple times is way cheaper than buying a single portioned out amount of it too.
You're right, Mitchell. Dollar
Yeah.
Shave Club used to be on every podcast. And it's
Oh!
really weird that you just said that, because I was just about to say it took me a while to figure it out because I was never going to do it. I bought like 3 Gillette razor blades once, and it cost, I don't know what a razor blades cost, $450. So I'm never switching razors because batteries and razor blades are the 2 most expensive things in the world for no reason that I can tell whatsoever. But Dollar Shave Club, when I saw the commercials, I'm like, man, $1 a razor, that's pretty cheap. But that's not what they were saying. They were saying $1 a shave. So I bet they're assuming that you shave based on shaving at least once a day, which, unless you're in the army, I don't think anybody does.
Because legs.
Well,
Disposable turquoise Bic razors that come in a bag of like 20. They work fine.
yeah, I can't. I've got too much sunk into them. Me having those Gillette razor blades is like having fucking cryptocurrency. Like, I just have to hold on to it now and hope that it pays off.
Oh, that's probably a better plan because they sell replaceable heads or whatever. But if you need like a good razor,
I learned to shave with those quote unquote safety ones that you unscrewed that open up. It was like my grandfather's. Like, it opened up, and then the razor blades that they always show in the movies that people would kill themselves with.
Oh no! Oh my god!
You had to drop it into the thing and then close it, and that was the safety part, I guess.
Patently unsafe, but what do I know?
But the sharp part was still sticking out because that was the point.
Yeah.
So
my pre-made plastic, already assembled razors.
And I don't understand how anybody did it with those straight razor things. Straight razors are just for threatening people in movies, not for actual shaving, or for people to like have a little power struggle between the person shaving them and the person in the chair. Like, oh, I could cut your throat. Oh, you're not going to cut my throat. That's always a good thing to throw in.
Might be a good thing to like. I just always imagine people who are using straight razors are on safaris. That is the only context in which I can.
Oh, and they use like a helmet for water.
Like a mirror mounted on a baobab tree in the middle of a like picturesque African scene.
Well, now I kind of want to do that. Maybe I'll set up a little shaving station by the pool for the big party tomorrow, where everyone can.
A Reddit post about that. My husband shaves in our backyard. Is he okay? Sort of thing. Like, there are worse ways to not be okay.
And he's muttering to himself. I think anything can be made more disconcerting if you mutter during it. Like the podcast. I have to edit out a lot of yeah, see? That's why I have to do the editing. Because you always leave your muttering in. Like, that's gold. I'm going to leave my muttering in and edit out Acadia's super smart points that I have.
I just say everything at the same volume, which from what I hear from negative feedback is too loud.
Well,
so.
But they said you're too
voice
loud?
Is higher. Someone has someone once either tweeted at me or sent me a message that said, stop shouting. And I think I just said no.
That doesn't even make any sense, though, because it all gets compressed so that it's the same. I don't know. People just send. I'm sorry on behalf of men. I'm sorry that we exist. and talk to people
All
in
good.
general.
Many lovely conversations with many men. It's just, funnier to recap the horrible ones.
Ugh. What about that cheesecake?
I was really insistent.
I'm keeping that going. I hope
Haven't
people
heard me
listen and come to the show and invite you for cheesecake, because then they're gonna.
If some old guy shows up at Days of the Dead with a cheesecake,
You will be like, I am so gonna watch you eat that in front of me, sir, because no way am I. And I'll be like, I'm eating it right now. Get out of my way.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not eating it.
Oh, wait a minute. That could be a horror movie that we make. So the guy
cheesecake.
No, well, so the guy makes the cheesecake, but he put some kind of potion in it that was supposed to make you fall in love with him. And then I'm like, get out of my way, I'm eating that cake, because you're all scared. And then he's like, no! And then
you guys live happily ever after.
No, because he doesn't love me at all. And I take it way too far, and I chase him the whole rest of the show. Yeah, that's a good
that would
idea.
be scary.
And then I do all the things that guys do to girl, like send him weird DMs and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like the whole, hey, what's up? And then like a week later,
fuck you, bitch!
Yeah, exactly. You ugly hoe.
It's like 2 hours later.
Oh. I assumed it was like a long wait. Oh, we're almost at that time. I was just looking to see, did you see the new people? Because we were talking about Days of the Dead.
No, I didn't actually. There are more people in the chat. My phone kept going dead because no one was using the chat, and the screen didn't detect any movement.
There's no more people in the chat. I'm saying there's more people that are coming to Days of the Dead.
Oh. I got Clive Barker blindness, so now I forget who else.
You just don't scroll down anymore because he's on the top, and you're just like, oh.
I noticed that the guy who played Shaggy in the live-action Scooby-Doo canceled.
Yes. But you know what else he was in?
So I did read the whole list.
He was in Scream. He was the other killer in the original Scream. He was with Skeet.
Would not have realized that. I just realized that he was like the live-action Shaggy and was like, man, what a shame that he couldn't come.
And you know what else he was in that I thought was a good movie, and I just thought it was a good movie? 13 Ghosts.
Movie.
You never saw it?
It's on Netflix.
Is it? It was when he was a star. It was that weird time when both he and the hell is her name? She was in American Pie.
Wrong person. Don't know. Names.
Anyway, she was in it too. But yeah, that was a pretty good movie. So Clive Barker, Elvira, Skeet, Ulrich, Heather Langenkamp, who is just the best in the world. She's so nice.
Potter is at everything. Wasn't he at Mad Monster too?
Yeah, he goes to every one of them. Clint Howard, that's fun.
There's
Jamie Kennedy, we can ask him about his experiment. Amelia Kincaid, and I watched Night of the Demons one night when I couldn't sleep. I hadn't seen him for a long time.
Savini. I got really excited about Tom Savini being there.
He was at
He was at
Mad Monster. Because when I was talking to Mick Foley, he's like, hey, watch the booth for a minute. I got to go talk to Tom Savini. I'm like, I don't work. What? Okay.
Assume.
I think the most interesting people on this list are honestly the two people that were in Paranormal Activity.
That's actually really intriguing to me too, because they were like basically regular people in a way.
Yep. The guy really just made it in his with his own stuff.
I think a lot of people dump on Paranormal Activity.
Not the first one. I dug all the way through, and I watched all of them, like where they said that this is a whole story and it all wraps up and everything like that. And
Witch's thing at the end, and I was like, no.
well, but I did love the fact that what they brought it back to was the one part you couldn't see in the first one when she ran around the corner. Like, that was really, really, that to me was fun.
The tie-ins were brilliant.
Yeah.
All that stuff, like, that was neat. And also, I kind of enjoyed the ghost dimension just because it was other Paranormal Activities. It wasn't like a great movie or anything, but I think I like had fun watching.
And that
was 4, I think.
Yeah. That tie-in stuff, when we were talking about Saw and the franchise and everything like that, that's kind of what I was trying to explain about the later ones, that they were by no means, oh my gosh, this is a masterpiece or anything like that, but they were so, at a certain point, I'm like, well, maybe they did know from the beginning, because how the hell did they weaved everything in so nicely that, like, to the point where they had Amanda, who, by the way, Shawnee Smith is not, she's going to be, in August, she's going to be at Monster Mania in New Jersey. She's going to be in the con in Pittsburgh, which I think is this weekend or next weekend. She lives in North Carolina, but she's not going to be at Days of the Dead. And she's someone that I legit...
She's in North Carolina? Neat.
I want to meet her really, really badly, because not just because she was Amanda, but because she was Julie Lawry in the Stand miniseries. And she almost shot M-O-O-N, that spells Tom Cullen. And Nick Andros. She missed him. So I'm mad, and I wish that they would add her.
Too expensive. Maybe she's busy.
Fine. Well, I'm glad she's doing cons at all, though. Like, it's that mixture of, like, I'm happy because I'm going to get to see him, and then I'm like, things not going good. And then I'm like, yeah, but like,
I do those things. Like, I think that would be genuinely fun.
Kate Beckinsale did it. So, like, I can't imagine. I would assume that I don't even know how their lives work. You know what I mean? Like, how much money do you have to need? Like, if you're John Cusack, you've been in so many movies.
Right.
And he goes to these shows and makes $1 bazillion taking pictures, and all he does is, like, smile and point at the print. Like, you can't do anything fun with him. Like, any picture you see of anybody posting with him, he just does the same thing every time. It's, like, the most annoying thing.
I wouldn't be like that, but, like, Doug Jones was at Mad Monster. He doesn't need money right now. I think he genuinely just enjoys meeting people.
That's what I think. I think it has to be something like that, except that, like, the big shots, like Kate Beckinsale, like, don't you just, once you've made a movie, you just get money all the time. Every time they show it, you get, like, $3 or some shit like that.
I don't know if maybe, like, because I think there are a fair amount of celebrities with, like, financial trouble. I think maybe the idea is, like, it's going to be this way forever and they don't know how to, like, save or invest.
You know, it's...
financial planners.
There's 3 actors that I've ever heard talk about that. And
Depp apparently has no money.
Who?
Depp is, like, in all sorts of crazy financial trouble.
Well, because he would spend, like, he was the guy that would leave, like, $5,000 tips at, you know, he would take out his, like, friends.
Buying islands and shit. Yeah.
Nicolas Cage is like that, too. Nicolas Cage is always broke because he would be like, I have to have that tiger that was stuffed in 1705 in Sri Lanka. And he, like, spends millions of dollars to get it, to bring it to his house and everything. Like, he just buys all sorts of crazy shit. Samuel L. Jackson said, yeah, no, I'm in every movie because my family likes shit and they just keep buying it and they won't stop, so I have to keep making money. Like that. He literally, that's why he said he's in every movie. And Henry Winkler, who is such a dear, dear, darling man. Like
Makes me so happy to hear.
he's so gentle and so kind, and he bumped into me in the hallway, and he's very, very short, and he bumped and he looked up and he went, "My goodness." He was just so like, and like Mrs. Zach is completely in love with him because she went to his panel
About his height.
Yeah, and she went to his panel, and he said, "Yeah, no, I'm going to take anything they throw at me because for all I know, that's the last thing I'm ever going to get offered." He's like, I literally never know if I'm going to work ever again. So if somebody offers me something, I'm taking it. And I hadn't really thought of it that way, but yeah, you don't know. Like, there's very few people that get to the level of, well, I have like fuck you money and fuck you and you and you money, and I could just make my own movies if I wanted to. Stardom, He also said that he is from a German family, and they were all super scholarly and academic, and he was the dumb one in the family, to the point where the whole family like called him whatever the German word for like idiot is. It like wasn't Dummkopf, it wasn't like that simple, but he's like, well, I'm going to try acting because obviously I'm not going to be a professor like everybody else in my family. And years later, he was his kid brought something home from school, and he was like, well, what's that? And he's like, oh, it's this test, they want to see if I'm dyslexic. And he found out that he was dyslexic, and it wasn't until he was a grown man with a kid, after Happy Days, all of that.
Aww,
he had been dyslexic the whole time. Isn't it crazy? So those are the only 3 people that I know have ever said, yeah, no, I'm going to get money because I don't know when I'm going to get money again. And like some of them, I think the Soskas genuinely do it to raise awareness of themselves, because I've never seen anybody at shows give more of themselves than they do. Like it's like
us.
When they do their photo shoots, they like get out, they dress up in outlandish costumes, and
I could see that.
Like they were the twin sisters from The Shining once. Like this is so like they're really fun when they do it, and they're always like, "Do you want us to put blood on you?" And the people that pay are like, "Yeah, I don't know."
Actually, I'm sure a lot of people going to horror cons would be like, "Hell yeah, totally."
Yep. Cool. So I guess
enjoyable when they want to be there.
Oh, 100%. 100%. There's nothing worse than being at a show and seeing somebody who looks like they're mad / embarrassed to be there. You know what I mean? And you're like, why'd you do it then? You're never going to make any money if you sit there like a sourpuss.
Yeah, you're already intimidating. Don't look mean.
Right. That doesn't make any sense at all. So then, I guess, since we're winding the show down, somebody has a cupcake to eat.
Happy birthday to us!
Is that a regulation size cupcake?
No, it's a mini cupcake.
Oh.
I just have giant hands, and it's like a regular size cupcake.
Your phone must have been actually an iPad.
A douchebag I dated in college once told me I have Gollum fingers.
Did you tell him, I'm sorry it makes your dick look so small? Because that's why he said it.
Good little Christian school girl.
Oh, well.
It just hurt my feelings. He's not wrong, though. I mean, like, I don't
really I know.
Fingers.
You get big, long, weird...
But that's why I'm so good at playing the violin, Robert.
Yeah. You can scratch your nose with your hands in your pockets.
Exactly.
Long ass. All right, eat the cupcake.
Castle Rock Historical Society. It's been a great year. It was a lot of fun.
That's right. Oh, that was like an M&M. How big is your mouth?
It was terrible. That was a terrible cupcake.
Oh no. Is it all like sawdust?
Or frosting, if you know what I'm talking about.
Oh. Well, that's awful.
That tasted like shit.
Oh. Well, that's not very fun.
Well, I've also been drinking soda, so that might not have helped. But happy about the birthday and everything. It was technically July 25th, in case anyone's curious. That's our official birthday, but, we thought we'd do something.
Yeah, we thought we would do something and leave enough time for us to not promote it, even though we said we were going to.
And it won't exist in 10 years, and then you won't care about the scheduling of our podcast birthday parties.
But to be fair, and I think anybody would admit, it looks way better using this technology than the other stuff that we were doing.
Yeah.
I think.
I look forward to that clip of me eating that cupcake being circulated during my 2020 presidential campaign.
Oh, you're going to do
kidding.
It too? I thought... Aren't you going to jump on the King Paimon in 2020 because he giveth good familiars?
I'm not old enough to run for office yet.
You can run for... No. You can run for the House.
And for president, like, go big or go home. You have to be 35 to run for the presidency, don't you? Yeah.
Yeah, 35. 30 for the Senate, 35 for president.
Yeah, I'm not old enough for anything yet. I could be like a city comptroller, except I hate accounting. So.
Yeah. And are you in that cheating district? No, I am. I'm in the district that has to do with the do-over because the guy cheated. So, lucky me, I have all campaign ads all the time.
Suck. Listen to horror podcasts instead, particularly ours.
Yep.
We're about to tackle a show that's not horror.
And not only are we going to tackle it, we are going to, once we get it on the ground, we're going to hug it and kiss it because
make out with it because I love it so far.
See? And we're starting the second year off super right, and we're going to dig into it. And listen, this is the important part. You too can watch it because it's on Nibble. What's it called? Nubbin?
Go to any of those. Don't go to those sites. It's probably porn. It's called Tubi. Tubi.
Yeah.
Sponsor us, Tubi, because we're gonna hype you like crazy for the next 6 weeks.
We're either gonna hype you or copy you, because I swear to God, the only thing that makes any sense to me is that they're just running Google ads.
We're gonna figure out that like they can't sustain this or something like that, and gonna put more ads on it or something. But right now,
for now,
an entire movie with like 1 15-second ad, and you don't have to like create a username or a password or anything. Just
it's dope.
Awesome.
And if you haven't seen it,
to watch along, the show is called The Lost Room. Please watch with us.
Hey. Could we? In theory, could we just show ourselves and do a watch along using that platform, because it's basically just hanging out there on the internet with no...
I think as long as we're not broadcasting like the soundtrack or the show, like if people just want to like see me like this and I'm watching...
I thought we could like do it like Mystery Science Theater 3000 and just stream us watching.
You just have to be like a certain amount old, or like you have to buy the rights to stuff. I don't know. Like people get in trouble for doing that with football games. I don't know the legalities.
Did you? There was a guy that there was a pay-per-view fight, and he streamed it on Twitch, which was 100% against the law, like in every conceivable way, except that he had a controller and he just kept pretending that it wasn't the real fight, that it was a boxing game that he was playing. And it didn't get shut off because they showed him. Like,
it's ridiculous.
He's the hero that we deserve.
People be out here nutsy stuff.
All right. So listen, Tuesday nights. That's when we're on now. Well, Tuesday day is when it's gonna come out. So until we find something that's like time sensitive that we have to do a special episode, like, oh, I don't know, for It Chapter 2 or The Hunt. Did you see the trailer for The Hunt?
No, I saw the trailer for The Lighthouse. That looks cool.
That does look cool. The Hunt is the one I wrote about the other day on Superversal Gallery. That is, it was trying to bill itself as an Emma Roberts movie, but Emma Roberts is barely in it. Remember we had just had the conversation about is Emma Roberts going to be a thing or not? Based on this, negative, because Betty Gilpin appears to be the star. And,
no, I remember that.
Yeah. But then I found out there was controversy about it because apparently the elites on the plane were going to kill the quote-unquote deplorables, so now apparently it's a big political thing. But then...
Oh, my God.
But then it was true that Universal pulled its ads because of what happened last week, obviously, you know, from a sensitivity standpoint, having a movie about, hey, let's hunt all these innocent people, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they may get like through no fault of their own.
Game.
Yeah. So they're gonna get screwed on that one. But you know who isn't gonna get screwed on it? Us, because we're not doing that one.
You know, some alligator movie came out like completely under my radar, but now I got targeted ads for like 24 hours for some sort of alligator horror movie.
Crawl. Was that it?
It seemed like it popped into existence for like all of 24 hours and then popped right back out.
I saw the trailer for it in a theater, and I'm like, is this really? They wanted to make Jaws with an alligator, so they had to make a flood so that it would work.
Placid exists. Why is this movie being made? Like, giant alligator been done.
You can catch that on Nubbin because it's already out of theaters.
Streaming on Nubbin. I thought it was like a sci-fi original. Was it actually in theaters?
Yeah, no, it was in theaters.
Holy crap. That movie, I hope that those people got at least what they put into it out of it, because I don't think it did well.
Oh, and I saw I watched the latest Blumhouse on Hulu, too. The School Days one, whatever it was.
Yeah, I heard it was like Breakfast Club meets...
It was like they, on purpose, were copying the Breakfast Club. Like, I don't know whether they thought it was an homage, but like down to the point where the vice principal comes in and says, "Why is this door open?" When in Breakfast Club, he went, "Why is this door closed?" Like, it was exactly it was just weird.
They're a 30-year-old in detention with all of these 16-year-olds, but...
All right.
Yep.
Everybody, you're the greatest. Hannah's going to say the thing now.
Real Castle Rock stars, not like from, you know, it says stars on my shirt, but it's not for Castle Rock, though.
Yeah, well, just wait until that gem comes out. I guess, what would you give the first year of our show? A Castle Rock or a star?
It's a star.
Yeah, I think it's a star, too.
For sure!
Yeah, 100%. And don't forget...
just take the Castle Rock part.
Yeah.
We were out there about the show.
We did our best.
Was the best.
You can win.
What's this?
Either this or those other things I showed that I don't know where I put them.
Cards, phone stand, t-shirt.
Yep. And you also... Maybe next year we'll get a decent-sized cupcake for Hannah to eat, because that gumdrop-sized one that she just ate just did not cut the mustard.
I didn't want to get food all over my guest room.
Fine.
I don't want to. That's how you get ants.
Do you want ants? All right, everybody.
That's how you get ants.
I guess listen on Tuesday for our regularly scheduled broadcast, and I think this is going to stay up on YouTube so that you can watch us fart around in the beginning and not know what we're doing, because I have no time to edit it. But now that we know that this can work, we could put, instead of having a Castle Rock thing in the bottom, we could do like, we could have other fun stuff down there, like nubbin. Could just be.
I was gonna say we could put a nubbin down there.
All right.
But,
Have a marvelous night, Hannah.
all right. Listening, everybody.
Bye bye.